Congressman, getting into specifics and your research there with the Von Mises Institute, pretty much everything you predicted in the last 30 years is now unfolding. From all my research, and even what the establishment's saying and the way they're behaving, it's all coming to a head. Now it's 2 billion rounds of bullets and hollow points that are illegal under the Geneva Convention. We've got a new report out where Homeland Security is funding domestic drones, and I'm not making this up, to, quote, track gun purchases. That just broke at Infowars.com. We see military drills expanding everywhere. We see the new Justice Department memo saying, hey, let's just ban guns and confiscate them. It's like I've woken up in an Orwellian nightmare. And we've got this normalcy bias, this mass Stockholm syndrome, where even mainline conservatives, I had Ted Nugent on yesterday, he said, look, the green light's been given on Benghazi, the green light's been given on all this other tyranny, Fast and Furious, nobody got in trouble. And so I think we've reached that point where the tyrants figure out that if they can take us an inch, why not take us a million miles?
No, and I've been getting away with it, but don't you think this has started a while back and it's just accelerating? And if you go back to what happened at Waco, if you go back to what happened at Ruby Ridge, I mean, if they can get away with it, they do it. And nobody ever got punished for those mistakes that were made, and now nobody gets punished at all. Matter of fact, the Congress goes along with it. The Congress doesn't really resist and put restraints on the president when it comes to kill lists and the use of drones and assassinations. And the funding continues. So it's a very dangerous time that we live in.
Undoubtedly, specifically with all the paramilitary buildup, the arms race going on domestically, what do you think the feds are planning? What do you think they're preparing for, Dr. Paul?
Well, I think they prepare for everything, and they themselves, go with the flow. They don't know exactly what will happen, but they're prepared. They don't know that in 2 months from now there's riots in the street, but they know that there could be. And the same way with the monetary system. They argue academically that, oh, yes, it's okay to print money and debt doesn't matter, the Paul Krugman argument. But I think they know exactly what can happen, the consequence that we warn about and try to prepare for, so they make their preparations. Like I think you mentioned in your introduction about what they do at the international level under the UN and the IMF and the, these group of 20 and all these. They do plan. So we know what would be the answer. That is sound money and honest money and have commodity money. They want to maintain their power, so they're laying their plans too. But I don't think they know the day they're going to use it. They plan for all contingencies because the action of human beings are not predictable. But when certain events come about, they're laying their plans in their network. So, and it's really scary when you think about the drone. The drone thing should, wake up everybody on what they can do, how much surveillance, how many weapons can they carry when they pretend that they can target any one individual thousands of miles away from the United States with people who maneuver those things even here. What can they do if they decide, well, we're going after this drug dealer, we're going after this guy that owns an illegal weapon, who knows what? And what we do know is in spite of their fantastic, ability, the advancement in these weapons, we do know that they make a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of collateral damage, and they just write it off. And so I would expect that the people in charge know that there's trouble ahead, and they're laying their plans to react in any way they think necessary.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.